Welcome to my channel. If you are new, hello, I am Melissa. I am a part-time reseller and a full-time grad student. If you're returning, welcome back. As you can tell from the title, we are doing a sales update, and this is just a way for you to see what's selling for me, and maybe you can apply that to your business and you can learn from my mistakes. So if that's one thing you are interested in, go ahead and click that like button and we will get into the video. Alrighty, so I first want to go over my sales goals and then I'll go into the rest of everything. So I wanted to sell 8 items a week. I wanted to make $209 a week, and I wanted my month goal to be $831. So that's a high goal. I try and set it high so that I can reach it. Now that you know my goals, let's talk about what actually happened. So on average, I sold 10 items a week, which is 40 items for the whole month. So on average, my weekly total was $174.13, which is under my weekly goal, but that's okay. And my total profit for the month of March was $588.50. So as you can tell from those numbers, I did not hit my goal, but I did get close. I made more sales than I did in my goal. I keep using my pen, sorry. I made more sales than I did think I would, so that's a plus. I also had more bundle sales this month than I've had in a really long time, which was really shocking to me. So let's get into some learn from sales. So if you're new, I do my top 3 sales and my learn from sales. I do my top 3 learn from sales. And that is what we're going to call the least profitable sales. That doesn't necessarily mean I didn't make profit, or it doesn't mean that I would never pick these items up again. It just means I'm going to change my tactic for when I purchase these items if I purchase them again. So my top 3 learn from items. We are going to start off with my number 3, and that is a pair of American Eagle Artist Flare jeans. They were really cute. I should have a picture pop up over here. And they are a flare jean. They were high rise and they were really cute jeans. They sold in 11 days, so really fast turnaround. And American Eagle does sell decently. My mistake was how much I paid for them. So I spent $5.50 on them. I then sold them in a bundle, which you can see over there. And the bundle sold for $29, which means that's about $14.50. Yeah, $14.50 an item. And then you subtract my cost of goods, so that $5.50. So I made $5.25. Now, that is including fees, like Poshmark fees. So it's not necessarily, that is my take home. My profit was $5.25. So it's not the worst, but it's not the best. We are going to learn from that. And I think in the future, I still will pick up these flare jeans. I really will. But I really wanted to move the pieces, and I wanted a quick sale, and I sent a lower offer than I normally would have, which I think is why I actually made the sale. But I really do wish I would have made a little more profit on that item. But I will still pick it up again. I think it's a good selling item, and I think it's still in style. So I think I still will pick it up. So now on to my number 2. I will pop a picture up there in a second. And it is a pair of Nux tie-dye cropped leggings, and I thought they were so cute. And I think when I got them, they had a really good, like in the $25 range, And it was like, I was still in this tie-dye feel where I was like, everybody's gonna still want tie-dye for spring and summer. So I thought, why not? I'd just pick them up. What I didn't consider in that was, again, my what I purchased price. So I did pay $8 for these leggings, and in the future I will still pick them up, but I won't pay $8 for them because I just don't think that that's the best return on investment. So I sold them for $18, which means that counting what I paid for it in Poshmark fees, my profit was $6.40. So it was under what I paid for them. So not a great return. Those took 70 days to sell. So it did take a little longer, but I think it was like a little over 3 months. So not too long still. And I didn't relist them or anything. I just shared them. So my number one, which is going to be the most profitable of the three. So this piece is a Topshop ruffle blouse. It was like really cute. It reminded me so much of like a dark cottage core. It's just got those big sleeves and the ruching, and then that sweetheart neckline. I just thought it was so cute. So I picked it up. I did only spend $4 on it, so learning from my purchasing up mistake. However, I just really thought it would sell based on style more than what it did. So it sold for $16, which still isn't bad for Topshop, but I just thought it was gonna sell a little higher. The person who bought it, we actually had this like back and forth, like they offered me something. I think they offered 12, and then I countered with 20, 24, no, 20, and they countered with 13. Then I left it alone, and then I sent an offer to Likers. They countered to that. I countered back. They countered 16, and I accepted. So, in the end, they got what they wanted. I just wish it would have been a little higher profit. So then on that item, counting fees and what I purchased for it, I made $8.80. So it isn't a terrible sale. I definitely did double my money, but it is something I've really expected more on. And I think that's the thing, is I really need to have better expectations. I have a tendency to want my items to find that right buyer, which is good in some cases, which you'll see in my top sales, I think, but in some cases it just doesn't work. All right, so those were my learn from sales. Now let's move on to my top sales. All right, so I had some really good sales this month. I actually had a few sales that were top contenders, but these were my top 3 sales, so let's get into those. Number 3 is actually a J. McLaughlin pair of like this butter yellow cropped pleated pants, and they were really cute. They were actually my first time picking up J. McLaughlin, and I really didn't think they were gonna sell at all. I think I have relisted them at least 1 time, maybe 2 times, and they took 276 days to sell. So almost an entire year to sell, but sometimes that happens. So I paid $4 for these. I sold them for $45, and with fees and everything, I made a profit of $32. So still a really good sale, but it was something that took me a really long time to sell. I cannot speak today. So with that, I actually just talked about that in a different video. I'll link it up above. But in my spending 15 to see how much I'll make video, I talked about how I picked up another J. McLaughlin piece, and then about 3 days later I sold this piece. So who knows? I mean, Becky Park on Poshmark, if you don't know her, I'll link her down below. She talks about how business pieces and like career pieces are really big sellers right now. And I think she's right on the money. A lot of things have been very business selling. So I've been on the lookout for those kind of pieces, even though they're not my forte. All that to be said, J. McLaughlin, it takes a while to sell, or at least in my case it did, but it still had a pretty good profit. I mean, 45 is still pretty good for a single item. It just did take a while. Number 2 is actually a really cute piece that I really wanted to keep, but I didn't. It's a Dooney and Burke vintage fanny pack bag, and the thing I really like about it is it just is so unique. So I actually took a picture of this on my Instagram in December, which is when I got it, and I just loved it. I actually put it with a belt of my own, and I listed that in the listing. I said you can use your own belt because it doesn't come with one. I paid $8 for this item, and I actually bought another Dooney and Burke bag with it. That one sold quicker than this one, which kind of shocked me because I feel like belt bags are in right now. But anyway, this one sold finally this month. It sold for $75. I think I had it listed for $100. I was sending offers and nobody was really interested, like they were likers and not buyers. So I think I sent an offer and discounted shipping to a lady, and she sent me a message and was like, hey, I am so interested in this, but since it's missing the belt, could you go any lower? And I was like, oh yeah, would 75 work? And she was like, yes, that would be great. So I think it was closet clear out. So I dropped the price to 75 and she took it. So I made a profit, including what I put into it, of $44.55, which I think is still really good. I mean, I definitely over doubled what I paid for it. So, and I mean, it found a new home and it found somebody who wanted it. I think it was a good sale, and that's why it's in my top sales, because it was a top sale. All right, so this other item, oh, I forgot to say, that item took 97 days to sell, which again kind of goes with those higher prices take a little while longer to sell. And I think you just really have to find the right buyer with those items, especially with vintage, especially with career pieces or funky colors, things like that. I think you really have to find the right buyer. So now on to my top sale, and actually, if you have seen other videos, you might know what this is. I will link that one up above too. It was in my Package Some Sales with Me. And this one is a Coach vintage Willis bag. Now I go into a ton of detail about why I picked that up and when I picked it up and how I picked it up and blah, blah, blah in that video. So if you're interested in more understanding of that bag, I linked that up there. So then that Coach Willis bag took 81 days to sell. I did not relist this one. I don't believe so. But it was just a vintage bag I really liked. It was black. It had that fold over, and it sold outright for $130, which, what? $130. I did pay up for this one. It was $20. This took 81 days to sell. It sold for full price of $130, and with my $20 I spent on it, and with Poshmark fees, I made $84, which, oh my goodness, I love that. It did take a little while to sell, but it was such a cute piece. I loved it. I am just happy it went to a good home. And those are my top 3 sales. So, I talked a little bit about this. I think that with a lot of sales, You have to find the right buyer, especially on those vintage pieces, especially on the pieces that are maybe a more unique style or an off color, something like that. I think you need the right buyer for those. And I think that's why those sales took a while longer to sell. Now for my lower sales or my learn from sales, I think my biggest takeaway on that is just that I need to know when to spend up for items. I mean, I'm still learning. I've been reselling for over 2 years, but I still make mistakes. We all do. But I think with those, it just is managing, like, what do you think you're going to get your return? And then just understanding that you might not get that. So especially with trying new items, like that Nux piece, I tried it for the first time. So I think with that, I would just not spend as much on it. But ultimately, I think those were still good sales and my profit overall was really good and I'm happy with it. Next month, I am still going to keep my same goals. I want to aim for a weekly goal of $209 and I want to still aim for making 8 sales a week. And those are my goals. So, all right, so let me know your thoughts on today's video. Let me know what your sales are, or if you had some really good sales this week, or this month even, because it's now April. If you like what you see, make sure to like that button. And then if you made it through this whole video, go ahead and put a B in the comment. I say this in every video, but my name means honeybee. So if you make it through the end, put a B down there and it'll make me smile and I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend no matter what, but I'll know that you made it through the end of this. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you next week.